I call this meeting to order at 4 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, all directors are present. Going on to number 1, approval of the agenda. Mr. Bartz, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
I'll move the agenda.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Number 2, public comment. Ms. Ward, are there any members of the public here for public comment?
Nope, there's nobody in person or online, although somebody's trying to join right now. So stand by. We have one member of the public online. Debbie McAfee, do you have a public comment?
You're muted.
I do. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Me right now?
Yeah, did you have a public comment now, or would you rather comment
No,
after a
it's
specific
agenda.
agenda item?
It's agenda 4.
Okay.
Oh,
All right,
why
I
am
got it. All right, so then we'll move on to number 3, discussion and possible adoption of resolution 2022-11. Mr. Bartz. That's okay.
I'm sorry, which one did you call out?
We're on resolution.
My fault. Okay, this is for the, I'm sorry, I was thinking this was consent calendar. Resolution
That's what I thought
2022-11 and authorizing remote teleconference meetings for period of March 30th, 22 through April 29th, 2022. Should the board desire to continue holding remote teleconference meetings. And the background is in here. It references Executive Order N 29-20, where you can hold the public meetings by teleconference. And staff recommendation is that the board adopt this resolution 22-11.
All right, are there any questions?
I move approval of staff recommendation.
Just had one question.
Go ahead.
The April 29th, why just for a month? Is there a reason?
This can only be done for a month at a time.
Oh, okay. That tells me. Thank you. And then I'll second the motion.
All right, so I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 2022-11. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. All right, moving on to number 4, first reading of ordinance number 2022-02, establishing uniform solid waste recycling and organic waste disposal requirements. Mr. Bartz.
Thank you. If you'd like, I can read the background on this. And CalRecycle, in consultation with the California Air Resources Board, has adopted regulatory requirements consistent with the mandate of SB 1383 that are designed to achieve the organic waste reduction goals established in section 397.30.6 of the Health and Safety Code through a 75% reduction of the level of statewide disposal of organic waste from the 2014 level by 2025. And I can continue reading with that, but I assume that everybody has already looked through there. If you would like, we can take questions, but staff recommendation is for the board to waive the first reading of ordinance 2020-02, establishing uniform solid waste recycling and organic waste disposal requirements.
Okay, let's go ahead and start with the board. Do any of the board members have any questions?
I had one question
Yeah.
about, it's not about this, but I was curious as to whether the county is going to issue the trash carts in June.
Yes, so I just actually spoke with the county today. Until this is actually implemented for residential service, the dump card fee will be assessed for another year. And then as long as we are on track to begin July 1, 2023, they will remove it for that fiscal year.
That was my question. Thank you.
That's a good question. Deborah, any questions?
No.
Charlie?
No, thank you.
All right.
We've covered this over and over.
No, Kathy, did you have any questions?
I did not.
Okay, thank you. All right, I apologize, but I forgot what her name was.
Debbie.
Debbie McAfee.
Debbie, this is the item that you had questions on?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So my name is Debbie McAfee. I'm a 16-year resident of Pinion Hills. And I have never had trash service. I don't want to have trash service. The reason I don't have trash service is I generate very little trash. I separate my recyclables from my regular trash. I have a compost bin for all my food and green waste. And last year when I had my juniper bushes trimmed, I had the guy chip the debris, and I'm using that for mulch in my garden right now. I typically go to the dump probably 4 times a year. I tend to have 2 small trash cans full of regular trash and approximately the same amount full of recyclables plus a stack of cardboard. I totally support the fact that we have to get the methane out of our landfill, but I don't think it's fair for those of us who have been actually complying with these regulations for the last 10 years to have to be forced to pay for a trash service that most likely we will rarely, if ever, use. So my question is, Section 16D of the ordinance says nothing in this section prohibits a generator, me, from preventing or reducing waste generation, managing my organic waste on site, and or using a community composting site. Does this mean there will be an opt-out option for those of us who do not generate green wet waste or have a home compost system for our waste? That's my question. Second, and I also, section 21.6 says a residential organic waste generator that self-hauls organic waste is not required to record or report information. So again, if I'm a self-hauler, can I opt out? Will there be a fee for opting out? In addition, I think it's a problem if you're going to be having 3 trash trucks going up and down these dirt roads on a weekly basis. I mean, these roads are already difficult to, navigate. Some of them are really bad, and having extra trucks on these roads are going to be, destroying the roads even more. And additionally, I'm assuming that these trucks are run by diesel. Maybe I'm wrong, but having more diesel trucks, you're going to be generating more air pollution. And is that going to be more than the reduction of the methane? I mean, general households probably reduce or create very little methane. So anyway, my number one question is there going to be an opt-out? It looks to me like there should be an opt-out.
Yes, please.
Yes, I assume it falls under the
Yes.
21.
So you are correct. There is a self-haul provision, or customers is we do have a permit process for that, just to track who is self-hauling and to make sure that they are actually taking the items where they're supposed to go. So we typically will request a receipt. And this process will be similar for residential customers. The fee for this will be set at a later date by a separate resolution. We still need to determine that. or if there will be a fee. We have one commercial self-hauler right now. Everybody else subscribes to service. There is a minimal producer opt-out provision in here. And so CR&R would conduct an assessment to see if you meet those requirements. The other thing for tracking and permit purposes is just to ensure that if you do still need a trash barrel, they can audit it and just make sure that your recyclables and your green waste are not going into that trash can. So yes, there is an opt-out for recycling and for green waste, provided you have a permit and you can demonstrate that you are actually disposing of that waste properly.
So if you opt out for the green waste and the recyclables, you still have to pay for regular trash pickup?
Yes, more than likely you will still need to have trash service. There is no self-haul provision for trash.
Okay, but look, I have very little trash. So I'm gonna have to pay for trash pickup for someone to come and pick up my trash every week when I don't fill a barrel every week. And so that doesn't seem fair. I mean, I also, my friend couldn't come, but he also doesn't generate very much trash. And, he also lives up at the end of Green Road. And so you're going to have these trash trucks go up there for no reason, basically, on a weekly basis. I mean, I come from Los Angeles. It's huge difference of having trash service in a city where houses are right next to each other and you can go down the street and pick up 50 trash cans or 25 trash cans in 10 minutes or whatever. Right now, the houses are spread all over the place. I don't think I should have to have trash pickup if I don't need it. If I only have enough trash to go to the dump once every 4 months, why should I have to pay? And on top of that, there's a lot of elderly people in this town who are living on fixed incomes, and this is going to be a financial burden to them.
So Ms. Ward, could you, this is a state mandated thing, and maybe Ms. Ward could explain to you the how our waste here has been incorporated in the San Bernardino County and how that's ending. Could you explain that? And we're not going to have a choice. That's my point.
Okay, I read the state, SB whatever, and it's mandated that the Well, do you have a range? Okay, well, can I say one more thing? If you just said if more people were like me, then you wouldn't have to do this. So maybe you could, instead of, forcing everyone to, pay for trash service. Oh, I, well, by weight, how, so, okay, so my question is, I mean, I don't, well, I think a lot of people Well, it's not so much my questions I have, it's compliance with the regulation all along. That, I shouldn't have to pay for trash pickup if I can comply another way.